Ferdinand Fondo contribution given to the Family Scholar House. Operation Big Brother comes to a conclusion with a guilty plea. In sports, Kurt Gooksell talks about IU basketball. And Elizabeth Wertman tells us about the Huntingburg Stroll on WJTS Inform. These stories, sports, and weather are coming up in the 18 WJTS News. This is the WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bill Potter. Sisters from the Monastery of Immaculate Conception in Ferdinand, key partners for the Ferdinand Folk Festival Fondo, and the Family Scholar House gathered late this morning as proceeds from the third annual Ferdinand Folk Fest Fondo were presented to the Sisters of St. Benedict. DuBois County Multisport Board member Chris Welp and committee members for the cycling event presented a check in the amount of $5,000 to Sister Barbara Schmitz, a sister of the monastery and representative for the Family Scholar House program. Ferdinand Folk Festival Fondo sponsors and community partners were thanked. Their support and generosity made this event and charitable donation possible. After completion of the Ferdinand Folk Fest Fondo, the committee was very pleased with the feedback that the cyclists gave about the great routes showcased during the ride. Proceeds from the event were given to the Sisters of St. Benedict for their Family Scholar House program. Sister Barbara Schmitz talks about the impact of the Scholar House and what the Fondo contribution means.
Very excited about the check that we received today because this benefits Family Scholar House, and Family Scholar House is a program that helps single parents, and the goal is to help single parents through college. And our mission is to break the cycle of poverty through education. And if the parents go to college, then their children are going to follow suit. Mostly they will do that too. And I might add, this past spring, we had 12 single parents who graduated from college, 7 from Vincennes University Jasper campus, and 5 from Oakland City University Rockport campus. And the money that we received today will help with tuition, books, gift cards, which will include gas, transportation. And we usually give out gift cards for during the holidays, so that help the parents to get presents and different things for their children. It might help with rent, with food, and just a whole list of different things. That's what it will help with, the money that we received today. So we are very, very grateful.
The Sisters of St. Benedict's Family Scholar House program has touched over 90 single-parent families in the past 3 years. Meanwhile, DC Multisport has had a successful 2015, completing 4 events this year, including the 4th Annual Heartland Half Marathon, 5K, Teen Challenge, and Kids Fun Run, the annual DuBois County Youth Triathlon and Duathlon, and the annual Strassenfest Bike Ride, and the 3rd Annual Ferdinand Folk Fest Fondo Cycling Event. DC Multisport's mission is to promote the health and wellness while giving back to our communities. To achieve a more philanthropic role, each event has a benefactor with proceeds going to a charitable cause. In total, DC Multisport has been able to give well over $82,000 to community causes since its first event, the 2012 Heartland Half Marathon. The DuBois County Prosecutor's Office says Operation Big Brother has come to a conclusion as the last remaining defendant of the massive raid pled guilty Monday to charges stemming for his case. Monday morning, the DuBois County Prosecutor's Office entered into a plea agreement with 29-year-old Brian Perez of Huntingburg. The agreement calls for Perez to serve a 15-year prison sentence at the Indiana Department of Correction for dealing in methamphetamine as a Class B felony. Per the agreement, Perez has also been ordered to pay $590 in restitution to the DuBois County Sheriff's Community Strike Fund. On June 5th of 2014, 16 individuals charged with various drug dealing offenses were arrested as part of the drug raid known as Operation Big Brother, an operation that was spearheaded by the DuBois County Sheriff's Department and the DuBois County Prosecutor's Office. Perez's case was the final case to be resolved as part of the operation. On October 13th of this year, 24-year-old Brock Gill of Jasper, another individual arrested as part of Operation Big Brother, entered into a plea agreement that resolved several cases he had pending out of the DuBois County Superior Court. In total, Gill is receiving a 7-year prison sentence at the Indiana Department of Correction for dealing in methamphetamine as a Class B felony, followed by a 2.5-year sentence on work release for attempted auto theft as a Level 6 felony. He will also receive an additional 2-year prison sentence if he fails to testify truthfully against a co-defendant in another pending drug dealing case. Gill is required to pay $180 in restitution to the DuBois County Sheriff's Community Strike Fund. Both Perez and Gill are set for sentencing on November 25th. In total, the 16 Operation Big Brother cases have resulted in sentences totaling 165.5 years, with 135 years of jail time. In a news release, DuBois County Chief Deputy Prosecutor Beth Summersheim says she is pleased with the outcome of Operation Big Brother. Summersheim says the prosecutor's office, as well as local law enforcement, want to continue to send a message to drug dealers in the community that they know who you are, they are watching you, and they will continue to pursue criminal charges against those offenders. Summersheim and Narcotics Officer John Anderson also led Operation Double Trouble, the second drug raid completed as a joint effort between the DuBois County Prosecutor's Office and the DuBois County Sheriff's Department. In total, 2 rounds of arrest, 18 individuals were served with arrest warrants for drug dealing charges in DuBois and Spencer counties as part of Operation Double Trouble. On October 27, 31-year-old Stuart Knopfsinger of Richland, who was arrested as part of this operation, pled guilty to dealing methamphetamine as a Level 3 felony. Knopfsinger is receiving a 14-year prison sentence at the Indiana Department of Correction. He is also required to pay $580 in restitution. Knopfsinger is set for sentencing on November 19th. The DuBois County Sheriff's Department and Prosecutor's Office say they plan to continue to jointly carry out large-scale drug operations, and they are currently in the midst of a third. The soil and water districts of DuBois, Spencer, Pike, Perry, and Martin counties are among those that will soon be the recipients of financial assistance by the state. Recently, the Indiana State Department of Agriculture and the State Soil Conservation Board awarded $965,500 in Clean Water Indiana grants to 35 Indiana soil and water conservation districts across the state. DuBois, Spencer, Perry, Crawford, and Martin County were each given $75,000 in funds. Pike and Warwick counties were among those who received funds of $38,500. The goals of the project are to seek ways to protect drinking water, improve water quality, and assist Hoosiers in gaining awareness and knowledge regarding the impact of land use on precious water resources. In a release, ISDA Director Ted McKinney says the grants showcase the benefits of collaborative efforts to conserve a critical piece of Hoosier environment and economy. More information about the State Soil Conservation Board can be found at in.gov/ISDA. Further questions or comments regarding the Clean Water Indiana program may be directed to cleanwaterindiana@sda.in.gov. That is cleanwaterindiana@isda.in.gov. Father Damien Schmeltz, OSB, a monk of St. Meinrad Archabbey in St. Meinrad and retired pastor of St. Henry Catholic Church in St. Henry, was named a Sagamore of the Wabash at a ceremony held last Thursday at the monastery. The Sagamore is the highest honor bestowed by the governor of Indiana. It is a personal tribute usually given to those who have rendered a distinguished service to the state or to the governor. Father Damien served for 33 years on the Indiana Natural Resources Commission and was co-author of Natural Areas of Indiana, published in 1969. The work served as a guide for the creation of Indiana's natural preserves. In 2007, he was awarded a Lifetime Conservation Achievement Award by the Indiana Wildlife Federation. 2 years later, he was a member of the inaugural class named to the Indiana Conservation Hall of Fame. He attended St. Meinrad College, earning a bachelor's degree in philosophy. He earned a degree in sacred theology in 1959 from St. Meinrad School of Theology and the Catholic University of America. He was ordained into the priesthood in 1958. Father Damien taught biology at St. Meinrad High School and college for nearly 40 years. He also served as academic dean and later as provost and vice rector of St. Meinrad College. He has served on the school board's board of trustees. He served as pastor of St. Henry Parish from 2001 until August of 2015. As Christmas lights begin to appear and thoughts turn to the holiday season, a dedicated group of volunteers in the town of Santa Claus meets to begin yet another year of answering children's letters to Santa Claus. More and more letters arrive each year, and Santa's elves need your help to make sure each and every letter receives a response from Santa Claus. Chief Elf and founder of the Santa Claus Museum and Village, Pat Cook, says that for over 100 years, the town of Santa Claus has pulled together to help Santa answer letters. Records show that the first person to answer children's letters to Santa Claus was James Martin, who was appointed postmaster of Santa Claus, Indiana, 1914. Subsequent postmasters, community groups, and individuals have ensured that the tradition has continued. Emily Thompson, the director of the Santa Claus Museum and Village, says the volume of letters increases each year, and they want to make sure every letter receives a response, so they're asking local businesses, community groups, neighbors, and friends to sign up as volunteers and help continue this important tradition. Volunteer elves are welcome on weekdays or weekends, during the day or the evening. Those interested in serving as volunteer elves should contact Thompson at the Santa Claus Museum and Village as soon as possible to schedule a date and time. Please email ethompson, that's ETHOMPSON, at santaclausmuseum.org or call 812-544-2434. Coming up, we'll have Carrie Schneider's weekly visit to the Du Bois County Humane Society. Also, weather and sports are still to come on WJTS News.